In freelancing, it's like one day you have 10 clients and the next day you have zero. So you have to be very, very cautious with that. I just don't expect ki suddenly I'll become very rich or suddenly I'll blow up on social media or anything like that. So that works great with my mindset because then I know that I am okay with slow growth.
What does it mean to be your own boss? What does it mean to be surrounded by content and to keep consuming it all throughout the day? What does it mean to be a freelancer? Well, today we will be talking to Pratistha Patel, who is a freelancer. She is a literature graduate and she is amazing with social media, every single one of them. I will request her to turn on her camera so that we can talk all about freelancing, about how it's going, and everything.
Hi, Maitri.
Hello, how are you?
I am good. How are you?
I'm good too. Okay, so my first question is what is freelancing? Like, explain it to us.
Okay, so freelancing is basically that if I am a freelancer, so I am not an employee of any particular company. Rather, I am working with multiple clients or 4 to 5 clients at the same time and working on projects that I like rather than a fixed company. So basically, I am myself a business, a writing business, in case I'm a freelance writer. So that is how it begins. So basically, right now I'm in the solopreneur stage. So that is how it starts. You work with different clients rather than being an employee to a company, basically.
Right, that's cool. So, what does your schedule look like, and how do you get clients? Like, do you reach out to them? And if you do, then how do you do it?
Yeah. So basically, if anyone wants to start freelancing, there are or basically three major ways to get clients. So number one is, of course, freelance marketplace like Fiverr and Upwork. We all know about them. The second one is social media, which can be anything, including four major platforms, which are Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram. And the third one is cold emailing all of the clients that you want to work with. So out of all these three methods, for me, basically I use social media to get my clients. So that is my basic strategy, to post content on all platforms and people reaching out to me for work or me reaching out to people for work on social media. So this is my strategy.
So, any tips that you would like to give people, on social media, like how to use LinkedIn for their benefit, how to use Instagram for their benefit?
Yeah. So when it comes to social media platforms, and if you want to start freelancing, what would you choose? I would suggest that you play with your strengths. So for someone who is very good with video, definitely go for Instagram. Someone who is very good with text, definitely LinkedIn. Someone who is very good with sarcastic tweets and being very good with micro content, because Twitter looks easy, but putting out tweets consistently which are really high quality plus very concise at the same time is difficult. It's not easy. So basically choose your strengths and start with one social media platform. If it's very overwhelming for you, start posting content, but don't sit post and pray. Don't do that. And rather than just posting, post and reach out to people as well. Basically inbound and outbound both have to be combined in order to get clients, because in the beginning you have to try each and everything to know what works for you, because for every person it is very different.
Okay, so would you suggest lowering your fees for, people who are beginners?
Yeah, I think in the beginning you should focus on getting projects, no matter if they are even paid or unpaid. It's not even about how much you're getting paid, because I think if you're a beginner in writing or in designing or in anything, you don't even have the skills to get paid $1,000. Like, just face it. It's a very hard pill to swallow. Many people have their ego or whatever it is, but you don't have the skills. Like, why would someone pay you $1,000 or $500? So be ready to work at low prices and then eventually go up, but don't let other people exploit you, because minimum wage is a thing. Don't work at rates like 10 paisa or 25 paisa per word, because it's very bad. Maybe one or two when you're just starting out, you just need that one first project, maybe that justifies it. After that, it does not. It depends on you, how you will market yourself, will position yourself, how much skills do you have, what kind of portfolio do you have. A lot of things go into place before you decide what your prices will be. Because I can decide whatever I want, but if my clients are not ready to pay, that is going to be a little bit difficult for me. And let's be realistic, when you will start out, it will be very, very difficult.
Right. So also, how many clients should a person take in the beginning?
As much as they can. It's totally subjective. It's different for different types of freelancing. So for someone who is a web developer, they wouldn't take more than one or two projects because it's very time consuming. For someone who is a graphic designer, they also will not take a lot of projects. Maybe if their speed is very good, maybe they can, but if you're a beginner and your speed is slow, then I don't think so it's possible. But I think that also depends on if you're working with retainer clients or one-time projects. Because if you have retainer clients, like monthly clients, then I think 2 to 3 are enough for beginners. But if they are one-time projects, then as many as possible. Another advice which I would like to give at this point is, don't say no to clients. Like, if someone is contacting you, just take it, and maybe it will be a little bit hectic, but in freelancing, it's like one day you have 10 clients and the next day you have 0. So you have to be very, very cautious with that. And not saying no to work is something which I learned, and something which a lot of people say as well. So that is also something which has to be kept in mind. But that doesn't mean that you will take any sort of projects, because right now I will not take projects. I have a qualifying criteria. If you pass that, then only I'll take a client. So it is very subjective. It's different for everybody. I can just tell
Your experience.
whatever I have learned from my personal experience.
Yeah. Okay. So in the content creation space, we derive inspiration from something, be it the people that we look up to or the people who are doing good in our fields, music, art, anything. What is it that you derive your inspiration from? And talking about the mindset that one needs to have in this job.
So if I talk about myself, I derive inspiration from a lot of female content creators that are already present. Not very different. I don't have a very different kind of a process when it comes to creating content. So for me, it's basically female entrepreneurs and female business owners, because a lot of them are very, very active on Instagram and Twitter. So these two, and plus pages like Zomato, Swiggy, and Durex India, people who are very creative with their content. So Starbucks. So these major mainstream brands like Nike, not only for me, for my clients, I have to also create content, right?
Yeah.
So all of these, and plus very personal female entrepreneurs and content creators and freelancers who are like really big in the industry. So sort of combination of both works great for me. And also another thing is, I am very, very conscious of people I follow and people that I look up to, because right now I just know that whatever I consume will be what I create. So it's very easy to follow a couple of good people and then consume good content, because then you have some standard set and you will not go below that. Yeah. So I think these two are my main sources: mainstream brands plus female entrepreneurs and coaches. So a combination of both of them. When it comes to mindset, it's very difficult to be positive. For me, as a person who is very anxious, okay, an overthinker, and just out of college, all of this is very intimidating. I don't know a lot of things. I don't know how will I count all my Google Pay transactions, and how will I figure out my taxes. I don't know if the money that I'm receiving from clients, do I have to pay taxes on that or don't pay taxes on that. Will I be eligible for taxes this year? I think I will be. So all of these questions, and then so much to think about. If you look at it, it will sound like complaining, but it is a lot of work. For newbie freelancers who are really into it, I have my friend Anushka. We both were so depressed in August that we didn't do anything. I didn't post on Instagram. I posted 3 to 4 times. So I am just out of it, and I am just out of that phase. So I know that once you get into that negative mindset, it's so difficult to come out of it and be positive. But in the end, I think it's all about how you think and how your foundations are. For me, I don't have any options. I never thought about this as ki theek hai, if it works out, it works out. If it doesn't, it doesn't. For me, it has to work out. So for that, if you have that kind of mindset, for me, I live with my parents, but I am totally independent that way. I pay my parents rent. I pay my parents for the money that I eat, like the food and everything. I pay for everything. I don't take a single penny from my parents. And for me, taking a break in August, I was like, oh shit, how will I pay for my life? So that way, even if you're living with your parents, you can totally pay them to just get an illusion of things that, okay, I'm independent right now. So that way, when you take up responsibilities, you have your bills to pay, subscriptions to pay for, maybe you have hired someone, outsourced someone. So when you take up that responsibility, it of course becomes overwhelming, but then you are accountable for it.
True.
So for me, taking pressure works great with my mindset. Okay, so if I have to sum it up very quickly, I would say I have very long-term goals. So for me, even if I fail in freelancing in 2021, I don't have any expectations because my goals are not very short term. So it's not like I don't have goals like I'll hit 20K on Instagram this month. I don't keep these type of goals, right? So when you have long-term goals, it's very good for your mental health. Second, you are giving yourself the time to fail and then to pick yourself up again, then again start working. So I just don't expect that suddenly I'll become very rich or suddenly I'll become, I'll blow up on social media or anything like that. So that works great with my mindset because then I know that I am okay with slow growth, right? So that is how I work. Because I am a big follower of Gary Vee, if you know. Yeah. So I really follow him. And so once I did start following him, his mindset also kind of impacted me a lot in the terms of that you have to be patient because it's a long life. So I think a lot of young people are not very patient enough. And of course, not everyone is. Even I am not. Even I had a mental breakdown in August. So I get it, but eventually you have to come back to it. Yeah. For me, it took a lot of time. Limiting beliefs, you have to get rid of all of them. And it's a long process, basically.
Okay, so my last question is that many people want to take up freelancing as their full-time jobs. So, does it pay off? And, can you earn well enough just by doing freelancing?
Yeah, I think you can definitely earn way more than full-time jobs in freelancing. There is a lot of growth opportunity, but if you are a person जिसको सर पे कोई चाहिए picking करने के लिए, then freelancing is not for you. Because no one will tell you ki, okay, this is the time to expand your business. This is the time to upskill. This is the time to market more. This is the time to run paid ads so that your reach can expand. So if you don't have that business owner mindset, that solopreneur mindset, then it's not for you. I'll be very honest, you will not be able to grow.
Yeah.
Because there are very high paying freelancers, and then there are freelancers who don't even make enough money to survive, right? And in every field, there are both types of people who are very good and people who are okay. So it totally depends on you. But if you are serious about it, you can definitely make way more than full-time jobs, even as a newbie. A 9 to 5 job is very easy as compared to freelancing. So if anyone is thinking that I'll be a freelancer because 9 to 5 is difficult, don't do it.
Yeah.
You are going to do it for the wrong reasons. You're going to get fed up of it and quit. So don't do it. I have realized in my 3 months that this is not easy, because other than your projects, how will you grow? It's very difficult.
Yeah.
So a lot of freelancers, they have just their own ways of coping with it. Some people just go out, some people go on vacation, some people take vacations and start working from mountains and everything. But again, you need money for it, and as a beginner you will not have that.
Yeah.
So just be ready to sit at your home and work for 12-14 hours a day straight from your laptop. If that seems doable to you, then you can do freelancing.
Yeah. Okay, it was really, really nice talking to you. We learned a lot about freelancing, and I'm sure all the people who are watching would have also learned a lot and, got to know what really is freelancing. And I hope their doubts are cleared. So, yeah, thank you so much for joining us. It was really, really, really nice talking to you.
I think thank you so much for inviting me, and it really means a lot. And I wish you all the best for your YouTube channel. I think it's very brave to start a YouTube channel from scratch, because it's hard. It's not easy.
It's intimidating as well.
Yeah. We will definitely get on a call sometime and talk about YouTube and what are your plans with it. I just love listening to other people's plans and everything.
Yeah.
It really inspires me.
Me too.
So yeah, thank you so much, and please guys, like, comment and share this video.
Please.
And subscribe.
Yes. Okay, thank you, and I'll see you. Bye bye.
Okay.